Hi, folks. Welcome back to Racin-n-Braisin. I am CJ. It is Thursday night, and I am happy to say we are back into the swing of things because Cup Series is back this weekend, and we're headed to Talladega. That is fantastic news. We're back on our normal recording schedule here at Racin-n-Braisin, which means Thursday night calls for us to do a preview of what is coming up this weekend, talk about schedule, talk about what we're expecting, and of course, talk about what I am thinking about for my birthday menu for this coming Sunday's race. So let's dive right into it and get some news out of the way. A couple big stories this week so far. We have seen Rodney Childers leave Spire Motorsports and the Justin Haley number 7. From the press releases, it sounds like it was a mutual decision. Really hard to pin down who decided enough was enough. First, they took the Easter weekend to make this big announcement. Spire Motorsports in general has been doing a lot better this year. It looks like the money that they've been pumping into their program is really making dividends. Justin Haley so far much higher in the points through this point of the season than he was last year. Other news to get to is that the All-Star format was announced for the upcoming North Wilkesboro edition. Most everything is the same, aside from one key thing. There is going to be a promoter's caution. So, random caution is what that means. Nobody knows when it's going to be. It's going to add another gimmick to the All-Star race to try and make a 250-lap race on a brand new surface at a short track with the next-gen car seem a little more interesting. Remember, Joey Logano led that entire thing last year. So, we'll see. I know, I'm rolling my eyes on it. I bet a lot of you too are as well. Final news that I want to touch on here before we dive into schedule real quick. The DQ for Jesse Love's Rockingham win was upheld. So he will have to unlock his trophy case and give that trophy back. If you heard his reaction to the DQ, he said he was locking that thing away. Okay, final note that I want to get to here before, yes, I'm having stuffed salmon tonight, and I'm going to keep that in the video for you guys. Cooked perfectly to 145 degrees, and I'm going to let that rest for a second here before I dive into it and make myself a nice little remoulade to go along with it. The final thing I want to touch on is if you had an opportunity to listen to Dale Jr.'s interview with Rick Allen. That was a really good one. If you haven't had a chance to yet, I highly recommend it. It shines a light on what happened to Rick Allen at the end of the NBC broadcast here last year. Remember, he was out for the final 10 and replaced by Lee Diffie, and there was no real explanation as to what happened. The Dale Jr. download did a great job of allowing him to expound on what happened. And basically, it was that his contract just simply wasn't renewed. And during the hiring spree of all the new networks that were bringing on new talent, he just didn't get picked up by anybody. He still wants to be a play-by-play, but he just wasn't hired. So, pretty simple explanation. I'll save you the hour and 40-minute long podcast if you don't want to listen to it. But if you do want to learn a couple of new things about Rick Allen, like Allen is not actually his last name, go ahead and check out the Dale Jr. download from this week. Okay, so let's dive into the schedule this weekend. 3-day show, but only 2 of the major series are going to be there. They are going to be joined by ARCA series this weekend. Up in Xfinity and ARCA series starting on Friday. We're going to have TV coverage of the Xfinity practice Friday afternoon on the CW app at 5:30. And Saturday is going to be a full day of racing starting at 10:30 in the morning with Cup qualifying on Prime. Then we're going to have the ARCA race on FS1 at 12:30. Doubleheader of Talladega action with the Xfinity race starting at 4 on the CW and MRN if you're doing the hack along with me. I think this week I'm going to do a hood cam of one of the drivers and watch the race that way and see how that goes for me. Cup race on Sunday will be at 3 o'clock, and that is on Big Fox. Extra eyes on NASCAR this week. Always love to see that. What are we watching for this weekend? Well, of course, we all know the phrase of the weekend is going to be the big one, but I also think another phrase that's going to be thrown in a lot this weekend is fuel saving. We've seen these super speedway races now. The teams have figured out how to manipulate the fuel so that they can have shorter times on pit road, and then that helps with their track position. Very likely, we are going to see three-wide racing through the majority of this race, and it's probably going to be because they are saving fuel. Now, when they are putting the go on and the money's on the table, it will most likely get back to double wide, and it will probably be really hard to pass. In these super speedway races, it's really hard to pass. Getting out of line just dooms anybody. Trying to start a third line when everybody's pushing really hard is just as tough. Who gets through the big one is going to make a big impact, of course, and play a role in predictions. Predicting a winner this week or anything for the competition between my mom and I is going to be a crapshoot. And we all know that. Favorites, of course, to think about are going to be Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano. I would put Ricky Stenhouse up there. Kyle Busch is favored pretty highly, and Chase Elliott as well. I'd even put William Byron up there. Any of the Gibbs cars, of course, are going to be fast. All of the Hendricks, of course, are going to be fast. And I'm sure 2311 is going to be really fast. Reddick and Bubba, both winners at Talladega. So those are ones to keep in mind for the weekend and to watch for and see how it does. But of course, we know nothing's really predictable at this track, and anybody really could win it. Yes, even Cody Ware. Let's dive into what's going to be on my menu. Yes, Sunday is my birthday, and that means I want to do a special dinner for myself, a big manly dinner for myself. So I'm going to go to a butcher Sunday morning and find a nice thick cut piece of beef, and I'm going to have myself a huge honkin' juicy steak. I will most likely tell you guys Sunday morning in my video how I'm going to marinate it. And then I think I'm going to do a special Sunday afternoon video, maybe even go live, show you guys how I sear. That's going to be on my main menu. I am definitely going to hit up a local bakery and find myself a big, tall, honkin' piece of New York style cheesecake to go for my birthday dessert. So that's what I've got on tap this weekend. I hope you guys are looking forward to a beautiful spring weekend ahead. I hope your week has been fantastic so far. Enjoy the racing on Saturday. I will reconnect with you again on Sunday morning. Like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you guys have coming up for this weekend and what you think is going to happen at Talladega. Until Sunday, guys, I will talk to you all later. Have a great weekend.